Hello ATM fam, welcome back. Glad you could be here with me today. We're going to take a look at the disappearance of missing Indigenous person John Edward Kurip, or Kurip. I'm going to pronounce it Kurip because it's kind of spelled that way. If you know a different pronunciation for this last name, maybe you could leave it in the comments below. I'm always open to learning new things. He disappeared in August, on the 11th of August in 2024. At the time he went missing, he was 37. His date of birth is April 4th, 1987. So he just, I guess if I can do the math, which I'm not promising, he might be 39. Yes, he just turned 39 a couple weeks ago. If you can hear, there's somebody with a chainsaw hacking down trees in the neighbor's yard. So if you can hear that in the background, I apologize. My dog is all hyped up about it, so if she starts barking, I also apologize about that. But I really want to get this out. Again, he was born April 4th, 1987, went missing on August 11th, 2024. He's a member of the Ute Indian tribe of Uinta and Ouray Reservation in Utah. Again, my apologies for the pronunciation. He's a Native American male, 5'11", approximately 200 pounds, with black hair and brown eyes. He was last seen wearing a black jacket, black shirt, and black pants, according to official reporting. Now, in the early morning of August 11, 2024, in Sandy/Midvale, Utah, which is where he was living at the time, John was last heard from on August 11, 2024. He called his mother and told her that he was having a mental health crisis, that he was struggling, and that was the last time anybody has heard from him. When they hadn't heard from him for a few days, they went to his apartment or home, which was near 700 South and 700 East in Sandy, Utah. I tried to find that on Google Earth, but I couldn't find. There were some residences in that area, but they weren't coming up to that address. So I don't have a picture of his home or apartment building or whatever the case may be. But his wallet and cell phone and backpack were left behind at his home, which gave law enforcement a strong indication he did not leave voluntarily for travel. Now, sometime a few hours later, police responded to calls about John knocking on doors and actually entering a residence. Officers located him and learned he had recently completed treatment for alcohol. He was not arrested, and he declined medical care. Shortly after that, body-worn camera footage shows John later that morning in new clothes. Now, I don't know if the black jacket, black shirt, and black pants are the new clothes or the clothes he was seen in earlier that day, when the officers actually made physical contact with him. But in any case, it's reported that later on in the morning, we're still in the morning of August 11th, 2024, he was, body-worn camera from an officer shows that he was in new clothes. Again, I'm not sure if the new clothes are the black jacket, black shirt, and black pants, or those were the older clothes when he was in completely different clothes at this point on the body-worn camera footage. In any case, he refused a hospital ride, asking to be dropped off instead at a townhouse suites in the area around 7200 South and State Street in Midvale. Now I have a picture of the intersection, but I spent quite a little bit of time on the internet trying to find a hotel or motel anywhere near that intersection, and also specifically a townhouse suites in that area, and I couldn't find really any kind of hotel very near that intersection, and I couldn't find a townhouse suites near there or anywhere in the local vicinity at all. But in any case, this is the last confirmed video sighting of him. Oh, that is going to drive me nuts, that saw. Over the next few days, the family received confusing texts from John asking questions like, "Where am I?" and "What time is it?" which of course caused big concerns to his loved ones. And then on August 14th, which is 3 days after all this commotion went on, they filed a missing persons report. After days without confirmed contacts or sightings, John was officially reported missing to law enforcement on August 14th, 2024. And I saw in an interview that his daughter said it was like he just disappeared into thin air. And in the weeks and months following, there was no verified sign of John. His phone, accounts, and tribal stipend have shown no activity. Nearly a year later, in July of 2025, news reports note that John's case remains open and unresolved, with family and law enforcement continuing to seek answers. A reward has been offered, but I don't know for how much. I can't find that. Just that there's a reward of some kind, I guess, for information leading to his whereabouts. Now, I have some tribal police information, call, text, and email for Agent Jason Webb. He's in charge of this case, so the contact information for Agent Webb will be down in the information box below. I can't find anything more updated than July 2025. It's actually been, of course, almost now 2 years since he was reported missing. I've got pictures. I've got maps of the intersection where he was dropped off near by the police, and also a map of where Midvale is located in the state of Utah. There are a lot of reports out there, but they all repeat the same thing. There's not a lot of new information. So I'm going to beg you, if you know anything concerning the whereabouts of John Edward Kurip, who has been missing since August 11th, 2024, from the Midvale or Sandy, Utah area, please contact the authorities. Let's bring John home. Let's find out what happened to him. Especially since this happened fairly recently, there should be closed circuit TV on some of the mall stores and things on that. There's a pretty big intersection there where he was dropped off by the police in the area around 7200 South and State Street. somebody has to have seen something. Somebody has to know something. And if possible, fingers crossed, there may be, maybe the police took some CCTV footage that they're not talking about yet. Or maybe there's still something, a store or a gas station. It looks like there's a couple of strip malls on a couple of the corners of that intersection. Let's see what we can do to get this case back in circulation. Get some new ideas, some new eyeballs, some new information to the police, tribal police, and get this solved once and for all. There are too many Indigenous people in the United States that are murdered, assaulted, or go missing every year. We need to make a concerted effort to bring these people home. Thank you for your time. Thanks again for being here. Please give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel. That would be very helpful to me, and I would appreciate it. And as always, if you know something, say something. And until next time, bye.